The H3000 Ultra-Harmonizer was Eventide's best-selling studio effects rack box. From its creation in 1986 through this day, it is considered the holy grail of multi-effects by many top engineers, but due to the price of the hardware, it was mostly revered by high-end studios and affluent guitar players. This is until the H3000 Factory Native plugin was released. This software is a recreation of several algorithms from the H3000 hardware at an extremely affordable price without sacrificing sound quality. It combines pitch, delay, modulation, and filtering in a modular interface and features over 450 presets, including over 100 artist presets and over 100 presets from the original H3000 hardware. The H3000 Factory works on both Mac and Windows in AAX, AU, and VST formats. The 64-bit plugin is compatible with all popular DAWs, and no dongle is required. Best part about it, it sounds just like the original unit. First thing you'll notice is the top of the GUI looks like the face of the H3000 hardware unit, complete with the famous big knob. On top of that is the preset bar. The H3000 Factory comes loaded with hundreds of presets for you to use or draw inspiration from. This panel allows you to scroll through them or load and save user presets, or compare your sound after making a change. The stereo meters allow you to monitor either the input or output signal. You will see these change based on the input and output level parameters, which allow you to adjust the incoming or outgoing signal. Up to 12 dB of gain is provided to recover low-level signals. And if you option click, the value will return to default. To the right of the metering are the H3000's soft keys. These are for adjusting custom parameters. Just click the button below the soft parameter's name and then turn the big knob. Next, we have the page select buttons. As you click on these, the bottom portion of the plugin panel changes to show you different views of the parameters. It's also possible to access these pages by clicking on the tabs in the lower section. To the right of that is the numeric keypad. When current is selected, each number can hold a different snapshot of the current effect. By holding down Command and clicking a number, whichever parameters are currently loaded will be saved to that snapshot. And when you save your preset, the snapshots are saved along with it. The global button allows you to save your favorite presets to each of the 16 slots for easy recall. Below that are a set of preset parameters, including tempo sync, which will cause the delay times of the delay and pitch shift effect blocks to be calculated based on the tempo and meter parameters. As the tempo value changes, the delays will be scaled to maintain the rhythm that is displayed in the beat grid. And when session tempo is enabled, the H3000 will use the DAW's session tempo and time signature to synchronize effects. Finally, the mix slider sets the overall balance of wet versus dry signal. The H3000 Factory can be as easy to use or complex to program as you want it to be. If you're not a sound designer or experienced engineer, I recommend starting with the presets to get familiar with how the modular signal flow works. So before we get deeper into how any of the algorithms are created, let's take a listen to some of the presets. I've already assigned a few to the global snapshot section. Pay attention to how the bottom portion of the screen changes depending on which preset is selected, and after the examples, we'll go back to highlighting what everything on the bottom of the screen represents. Now that we've heard a few of the effects, let's take a look at the bottom portion of the GUI and start on the Program tab, where you'll find the convenient modular interface. It starts with the left and right inputs, and if your source is mono, you can easily create stereo effects. You'll also see a white noise generator, a full-scale input, a sidechain input to utilize audio coming in through your DAW's sidechain. Next comes the modulation knob input, which contributes to more of the wilder effects. This allows a preset to be customized to allow a parameter to be modulated in real time manually. And finally, the function generator, which is an LFO with a wide variety of wave shapes that you can use to control any of the preset parameters. You may have noticed that when I click something that can be controlled, on the right of the screen, I can then manipulate whichever parameters are associated with the selected input or effect block. So let's check out these effect blocks. The H3000 offers pairs of sweepable delays, pitch shifters, filters, amplitude modulators, and an assortment of modulation sources, including 2 low-frequency oscillators, envelope generators, mixers, and more. To create your own patch, simply drag a cable from an output to an input. Or on the right side of the screen, in the patching section, you can choose your input source. You can also click and drag with your mouse to move a module to a new location, which could make it easier on the eye depending on how your effect modules are routed. To change the settings of any module, simply click it in the patch bay, and its relevant parameters will appear in the lower right corner of the plugin window. The plugin parameters are under the parameter heading, and how you've patched it is under the patching section. For example, in the delay module, you have control over feedback and modulation control over delay time, which can be assigned to any of the 4 soft buttons, and then be controlled by the big knob. The delays utilize Eventide's intuitive beat grid, letting you easily place delays in perfect time with the music. You can use any of the wheels, knobs, or sliders on your MIDI controller to physically automate at the desired parameter, as well as fine-tune the ranges of your controls to prevent over-tweaking. Expert sound designers can easily get under the hood by entering expert mode or function mode to have access to lots of parameters in one place, as well as the ability to route them to different MIDI controls or the soft keys. This plugin is highly programmable and controllable via MIDI. So when you create your own presets, you can determine which of the parameters you'd like easy access to and assign them to one of the 4 soft keys. With over 200 parameters, this is an incredibly versatile sound design tool, and you could tell from some of the special effect presets. With the sought-after sound of the H3000, added functionality and flexibility, the H3000 Factory is a great sounding plugin with a whopping number of usable presets. This is an amazingly versatile tool at a great price and will have plenty of uses for everybody from the hobbyist to the singer-songwriter to the professional sound designer.